sells weed on the side. That's what people told me. I did a roast battle recently before I came out here, and someone told me I look like Miss Frizzle if she drove the Magic Bang bus. That one I'm more or less okay with, because if you don't laugh, it builds my self-esteem. It's a twofer. I've never been great at normal lady stuff, though. Like, I turned 32 recently. It's that level of excitement is accurate. That makes sense. No, but everything's changing. I've entered into this like chapter of womanhood that I'm not sure I'm ready to be a part of, right? A lot of things are bachelorette parties, different, right? I went to a bachelorette party where I was the youngest woman. Not only did we have to stop several times so they could pee in a bush, which is not too much different than your 20s. In your 20s, it's like keep the bride from cheating on her future husband, and everyone don't puke in the Uber, right? In this Uber, we were all worried about getting a bad review because they wouldn't stop talking about how to hide their chin hairs between the bars, right? And everyone looks at me weird. There's a lot of tools. I had no idea where you can like shellac it with hairspray, you know? You can lay it down. There's like little tools on Amazon and stuff. But men are the ones who usually give me a side eye for that, and I think that's messed up because when I started dating my current boyfriend, he used to shave just his nipple hair. Right? I think that brings a sense of balance to the universe for women. We're worried about men being offended by our secret chin hairs, but they're in the bathroom just like spreading their hairiola apart. We're worried just like one misplaced hairiola hair, one bad scroto. We're out. That's it. And I like that. I like that about this age. I don't do well at normal girls' nights. I never have. Like if I get invited to a bar and it's more than 4 women, I know that the one who invited me is going to cry. Right? I feel like even men know that that's a stereotype. Because I feel like know yourself, right? Women aren't inviting me out to dance. I'm going to smoke cigarettes in the parking lot. That's my vibe, right? You guys don't relate to that, that's okay. I don't, but I know I'm going to spend like 2 hours putting on a hot outfit, right? You know, I'm going to spend a bunch of money, and then I have anxiety, so I'm going to eat like a bird, right? And at the end of it, we're going to throw tequila shots so that fucking Cheryl can tell us that her and her boyfriend Tommy broke up again because she can't see red flags and he made her split the bill. And I'm like, some of us have real problems, Cheryl. You know what I mean? I don't get invited back to these because obviously, you know, we're female comedians. We know how it is socially. So I just take my shot, and I was like, I'm going to tell you about some real shit. And I was like, my boyfriend got blackout drunk. He stole my car. He had sex with a man in it and then abandoned it outside of a Walgreens in Alameda. Yeah. Dude, I think that was the first red flag with that guy. Or it was like right when we got out of rehab and I moved in with him. It could have been either or. Could have been either one. I did go to a girls' night recently that I enjoyed. I went to the ballet. Yeah. I know I look like I frequent the ballet. I'm so graceful. My friend got discount tickets, right? She was a coworker of mine. And she didn't tell us what the ballet was. She was like, we're going to have a girls' night. I was like, nobody's going to cry. I'm in, right? So we go. She goes, we're going to pregame at this college, at this bar by Berkeley. You guys know of Berkeley. I moved to San Francisco from Arizona, which also not something to clap for. Nobody's clapped for that since January 6th, and it's totally also understandable. But like, we went to this bar next to Berkeley, and I thought, this will be fun. We'll be all college kids. They'll be hot. It'll be fun. No, all the women in this bar were 185 years old, and our server had a hearing aid, and I got there late, and she was like, why are they here? And I heard it. I never got a drink. We left, right, to get in line for the ballet, and I had to drink the mini bottle that I keep in my purse, which is for emergencies only. I was pissed. And then, so, you know, San Francisco, right? You guys know the stereotypes. We're in line for this ballet. My friend's like, yeah, so it's a fragile masculinity ballet, and there's 5 male ballerinas. They're here from Israel. And I was like, bro, immediately genocide protest. There is like more angry lesbians than I've ever seen in person in my life, just screaming on the other side of the line. Dude, it was crazy. And then we got in there, and I had smoked a bowl at this point. I was like, I have to get through this. She goes, there's no music, right? So there's no music. She's a bad friend, all right? Not only was there no music, okay, the guys come out in their leotards. There's only 2 women in the ballet. They're in the dark back corner just twerking. Making weird eye contact, and then the whole finisher was these men. There's 5 men. They get in a line, they squat down, they put a human centipede, right? And they went, hey, into each other's butts. And I was like, this is art, you know? No. I was pretty lit, so I started laughing hysterically and got kicked out of the ballet. And 10 out of 10, best girls' night I have ever had.
Put your hands together for Emily Rudolph, everybody. Emily Rudolph.
up, everybody? How's it going? Having a good time. I know that I look like a special needs teacher that slings weed on the side. I have been told. I do a lot of roast battles. Someone told me somewhat recently I look like Miss Frizzle if she drove the Magic Bang Bus. That's my favorite joke, because if you don't laugh at it, it builds my self-esteem. So it's like a twofer, you know what I mean? I have never been good at lady things, which you can tell because I just leaned across the bathroom sink and I look like I wet my pants. That's the level of ladylike that I am. Is anyone actually still on a dating app in this room? That's the question you have to ask now. Nobody, right? Because they're terrible. If you're a woman on a dating app in 2025, you ran out of Netflix documentaries, you know? Like you're trying to be a serial killer in real life. I would rather fall asleep to old episodes of To Catch a Predator, because Chris Hansen, that's a soothing man, you know? I don't, like, when I was on dating apps, I never knew what to put in my bio. I don't feel ladylike, and you have to come up with all these quippy things. You have to have a good question, a good bio. So I just said, I was like, men like mystery, right? I just said, I like my men, like I like my bacon. Yeah. That's it. That was the whole bio. I was pretty into it. I was proud. I did not get a lot of responses, did not get a lot of inquiries for a couple of weeks until men who love Andrew Tate found my profile. And every other letter is in all caps. It takes a lot of effort to yell at you via text, right? And so I was just getting all these messages like, what does that mean, bitch? You know? And it gave me so much anxiety, I panicked, and I wrote back really fast, and I was like, thick slab, smoked and uncut, you know? Men say they want an honest woman, they don't. It's a lie, okay? Because they blocked me, which I guess is fair, right? And living in San Francisco, you know, I could go on the dating apps and seek out women, but with the nose ring and being as white as I am, it just brings a lot of questions. Because then they're going to be like, why aren't you a full-time lesbian, you know? Why do I have to, how am I supposed to answer that question? Like, I like sushi, but I'm not sure about poke bowls, you know? Like, I only want a poke bowl maybe 3 times a year, 4 max, right? Because you get like a wild side craving. You can put whatever you want on or inside of a poke bowl, right? You can drizzle it with stuff. It's got all the little, see, you guys not into poke bowls? You guys have boba tea every 3 feet on the coast. No, but if you come back to a poke bowl the next day as leftovers, it's moist and unrecognizable, right? Like you have to churn it over to get to all the good bits again, and that's not really what I'm looking for every day. Like a sushi roll is great just as it comes, because you don't even have to slice it unless it's like for religious reasons, right? That's a circumcision joke for the men in the room. Some of you were here earlier, and I mentioned that I'm from Arizona, which didn't expect a better clap this show. That's about right. No, it's okay. Nobody even in Arizona has clapped for that since January 6th, and that's just true. That joke wrote itself. I did grow up there, though, and I have what some people call a Fox News dad. Yeah, I know. It's not a great thing, but it's entertaining, okay? Because I turned 32 this year, and I have no kids. I'm not married. And I've started thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder why, right? Because Fox News dads come with a lot of baggage, right? You were going to clap for that? You have a Fox News dad? Oh, I was like, I want to hear about this. No, they're good. They're entertainment. You can take a Fox News dad to a Chili's. You can say one thing about politics to the waitress, and he'll argue with her for like an hour while I eat my Southwest egg rolls in peace. You have to learn how to redirect his energy, you know? And growing up with a Fox News dad is different. Like, he used to bring me, he's in construction, right? Growing up with a dad in construction is just like spending every day in 7th grade earth science. Like, all my family talks about is cracks and holes. It's what's wrong with me to this day. He would take me to work with him on like bring your kid to work day, and he would put me on a paper with some guy who told me his name was John. It wasn't, it was Juan. And Juan would teach me how to say fuck your mother in Spanish while my dad was gone. It's chinga tu madre. It's been doing me real good on the subway. It did backfire on my dad, though, because as an adult, I attract problematic men just like moths to a dumpster fire. You know, it's very tricky, but emotionally and hygienically, it's not good. And now, like, so my dad, he's the old-fashioned type, right? You know, you have a dad with a big gut. So I told someone, like, you know, I'm from Arizona. They said, oh yeah, I knew a guy there, and he had like 61 guns. And I was like, you met my dad, you know? He likes to be the most threatening guy in the room when I bring men home, right? And now at 32, he's been doing this for years, right? We sit him down at the table, and like, this is my dad. My dad pulls out his phone. He's like, these are pictures of the sex toys that I'm shopping for online. Your dad doesn't do that? Nobody? You don't approve at all, do you? You please talk some sense to my dad, so I can have children someday. No, he was shopping for this thing called the Commander. Have you guys ever heard of the Commander? Maybe it's a San Francisco thing, but it's a dick that you strap to your face, okay? It goes right here. And then it's got this little thing that goes around your head. First of all, that's my father, okay? It's not alright. But he was like, I gotta get a new one because we keep wearing it out. And I'm like, this is why I don't have children. So now, when my dad does this to me when I bring home a new guy, I just start talking about my strap-on. And my dad really doesn't like that it's black. It's our biggest. That's why I moved away. I do have a horny grandma. It's a family affair, you know. You guys are very respectable families in New York, I get, you know. San Francisco might be right for me. I don't know. But like my grandpa died probably 8 years ago or so, and she's lonely. She doesn't want to date again. And I respect that, but she's a little too into those weird fairy romance novels on her Kindle, you know? She's always like, we used to send her our dick pics because I have 2 sisters, right? And so when we would get dick pics, we would send them to our grandma. And she started getting spicy with me, dude. I sent her one from the Pride Parade, and it was just a guy in half a Spider-Man costume with his dick out, okay? And she goes, send me a bigger one next time, sweetie. Then, right, I'm home for the holidays, and she goes, let me see what you're sending back. That's what you call CPS. That's a right time not to laugh, okay? Because that was shocking. I'm still scarred. I don't know what's wrong with her, but I did let her see, okay? I handed her my phone, and I walked away, and she just goes, looks good, sweetie, from the kitchen. She gave me my first vibrator, man. She pulled it right out of the pantry. That's where she keeps her snacks, and I think that makes sense. That's been my time, everybody. Thank you so much.